Guys. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to sessions 3 and 4 of our New Diamond training. I am so excited to be with you again and excited to wrap up these last 2 sessions of New Diamond training. We've had a great experience. It's been great for me to be able to connect with our new diamonds from the region and some not from our region. Everyone's welcome. Just excited to be able to really connect with you guys and hopefully teach some principles that have helped you to realize how to treat your business like a business, to set goals, to create vision, create accountability for yourself, and really begin to implement some practices that will help take you to that team leader position and to that 2-star diamond position and beyond, right? So we're going to dive right in this morning. Today we will talk about leadership in terms of how it relates to duplication, the importance of that, and how we can make duplication happen. And then we'll also talk a little bit at the end about creating culture, creating team culture within your team. Before we get into that, though, I do want to just kind of recap and reiterate some of the great things we talked about from session 2. And the thing that I loved about session 2 and kind of how we ended was the concept, the activity of win the day. Have you guys been practicing the win the day activity since we talked a couple days ago? I see some people giving me thumbs up. I see others going, oh, no. I had a couple people post on the Facebook page that they had checked that off their list. And so awesome if you've done it. If not, that's okay. Remember, this is all about being consistent and identifying those controllable activities that you can do each day to move you towards your goals, and then winning more days than you lose. And part of that is just getting into the habit of actually doing the win the day activity and asking yourself at the end of the day, did I control the things that were controllable to me? All right, regardless of what the outcomes are, if they worked well, if they, if maybe I didn't get as great a response on some of the things that I put out there. Again, if you consistently do those activities that you can control, you will plant the seeds, you will harvest those seeds, and they will give you fruit so long as you're consistent, okay? So again, just to follow up a little bit on those session 2 commitments that we made, all right, I wanted you to kind of consider and contemplate on 3 things that you could do to improve your business owner mindset, all right, to remove ourselves from that employee mindset, trading time for money, getting away from just, oh, hey, this is a hobby, I do it for fun, and really getting into treating this like a business. All right, I challenged you to outline 5 or more daily the controllable activities, and then do the win the day personal accountability activity, which we talked about. And then also, an important step, if you haven't already, to set up an accountability call with either your coach or a success partner, all right, that you will invite. You're inviting them like, hey, I'm inviting you to keep me accountable for the goals that I have and my activities that I would like to do each day. And so invite someone to do that. Make sure that you set up that accountability call or a message, whatever it is. Somehow you need to keep yourself accountable with your coach or success partner, and it will truly yield great dividends for you. All right, good deal. Well, hey, let's dive into session 3 here then. And today we are going to talk about duplication. All right, now this is really a principle that is extremely important in this type of business. It's really what makes the Beachbody business model something that can yield such amazing results and can really begin to work for you in a powerful way. The reason I say that, again, is because we look at the traditional ways of generating income for yourselves, you have to get a job, you have to you're trading the time, for money. You can only control your income based on how much you can put into it. Where duplication comes into play is where you are able to get more and more people to do the same things that you do, but by virtue of those activities, it helps create volume within your organization, which you are then paid on, all right, without you having to do the work yourself, right? So in an ideal world, all right, I don't like to talk about secret ingredients or secrets to success, because at the end of the day, they're elements of what makes people successful. There is no secret to anything, but if there was a key ingredient, I'll call it, to being successful in network marketing, being successful in a Beachbody business, it is this principle of duplication, all right? And being able to find coaches who are willing to do what you do, and that you can teach and develop and mentor to do what you do, to do those same activities and to grow their business, expand their business in the same way that you have. And then you help those people do the same thing. It's that process of duplication that takes your team and makes it from the 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 people that you've brought in into 16 and 32 and 64 and 128. And as that continues to expand, that creates more and more volume in your business, and you are paid your commission check based on that volume. And so this is an extremely important principle to understand. And I would also even challenge you so far as to say, do the controllable activities, are these things that I'm trying to do they foster duplication? Are the things that I am investing time into as a Beachbody coach helping to push forward duplication within my business? Because at the end of the day, like I said, that is what will help take you towards an income level that can really provide security and opportunity for you. Whereas if it's always just you, if it's just you that's having to, Success Club 20, Success Club 30, or just do all of the work yourself, all right, you'll never reach, the full potential that your business is capable of, all right? So very important principle, duplication, okay? In terms of things that you can do to impact duplication, and we've talked about some of these already, when we talked in session 1 about creating a vision for where you want to go and being able to communicate that vision and share that vision, that is a critical point in terms of helping your coaches and your team to also catch the vision of what they can do with their business. And so as a leader, one of the things that you always want to be at the forefront of to help people be motivated and committed to what they're doing is casting the vision of what people can do with their Beachbody business, the way the company is growing, the way that there is an opportunity for them not to lose out on if they will engage on this. So always be casting that vision. All right. Another point we've talked about in terms of accountability and helping one-on-one people move towards their goals, is motivating your coaches, mentoring your coaches. Again, those things go hand in glove. Always critical to stay on top of that. And today, what we're going to dive into just a little bit more here in these following points is the role that training has in duplication, okay? Staying engaged in training and what type of training that we're doing. And then we're going to talk a little bit about delegation, which I know sometimes is like the hardest thing for us to actually like delegate and empower other people to do what we've been doing, because we want to control that. We want to make sure it gets done right. But we want to talk about this principle and how it can help. Okay. All right. Let's first dive into the training aspect of here. And the first thing I want to talk about in terms of training is our Coach Basics program. All right. So the first question I'll ask is, have each of you had a chance to go through Coach Basics? I know you're at the diamond level. Hopefully each of you went through Coach Basics and is tied into a Coach Basics program that you can give to your new coaches. All right. I do want to mention that if this isn't part of your onboarding process, when you sign a new coach and you aren't getting them right into the Coach Basics program, this would be something that you should outline as part of the systematic way, right? We've talked about systems and their importance, a systematic way that we bring on new coaches and ensure that they complete a Coach Basics program, okay? Now then, there are lots of ways for you to access Coach Basics programs. Maybe you have one specific that you've put together and that you like to do with you and your team. Maybe you are tied into your coach's team or into your organizational Coach Basics program. All of that's great. We as a corporate entity, we don't really care which Coach Basics program you tie into, as long as you're tied into one, right? And that you're using it to help new coaches get onboarded correctly and get up to speed and know what to do, okay? I will mention to you though, if you don't have a team Coach Basics program, or maybe even if you do, I encourage you to go to the Coach Online office and check out the new Coach Basics program that's been put into the training tools in the Coach Online office. If you've been a coach for over I'm going to say 3 months, then you probably haven't seen the new Coach Basics program unless you've gone there to check it out yourself, right? So go to, this is, I'm going to tell you how to get there if you have never been there before. If you go into your Coach Online office, right, and then you click on the tab that says News and Training up in kind of the top right-hand corner there, and then there will be a drop-down menu. Click on Training, and then that will bring up a new page that has all kinds of resources in it. On the left-hand side, there is a link that says Training Library. Click on the training library, and then, we'll have all the different, trainings that are available. Find the Coach Basics program. And then there are now 3 elements of that Coach Basics program to really help you not only get the information you need, but to execute the Coach Basics program in an effective way. All right. And those 3 materials are, and I've listed them here on the slide, right, is the leader guide. That's for you as the enrolling coach, all right, to understand how you're going to conduct your Coach Basics program, and it will give you what you need to do, how you need to set it up, a really step-by-step way to implement your Coach Basics program. There's then going to be a participant starter guide. This is what you would give to your new coach to read through, to get up to speed with, so that they know what to expect, what they're going to be learning, how they, need to connect to your, Facebook group or whatever, however it is that you're setting that up. And then, of course, there's the content guide that you will use to make your posts and put the information out there. And there's amazing, updated, effective training and content that's been put into that content guide that has been a collaboration of resources of the top coaches in the network. Kim Carver, he is our training and development guru. He has collaborated with coaches from all over the network to take really the best points and principles from those, put it into this content guide for for Coach Basics. So I would encourage you just to access that, to go through it yourself. Maybe there's some new tips, new things that you could learn personally, but then also to make sure that you are properly executing a Coach Basics program for each of your new coaches. All right. So kind of beat that one into the ground. Make sure to access that. All right. The reason Coach Basics is so important, again, I'm going to ask this question rhetorically here, but I want you guys to think and marinate on what the responses would be to this, is really ask yourself, why is onboarding new coaches correctly so important? Right? When we talk about duplication, this is really the most critical part. If we bring a new coach on, and the only thing we've done is get them on and get them their, maybe get them their product and get them into a challenge group so they can use it, but we haven't got them into that Coach Basics program. We haven't connected them to the systems of the company so that they can then duplicate the activities, right, that you have done and that a coach needs to do to be successful in the business. All right, we won't get the retention and the ongoing, again, building of an organization through multiple generations of coaches that we need. So onboarding is so important. Setting the right expectations is critical. If a new coach comes in with one set of expectations and then reality becomes different for them because they weren't walked through the process, they didn't have the information they need, they weren't given a systematic approach to really get started, that's where we lose new coaches. Okay, so be sure to really onboard, bring people on correctly, get them through Coach Basics, make sure that they're mentored every step of the way, and it will significantly impact both the retention and the duplication within your business. Okay, now then, I'm not just going to talk about Coach Basics. All right, it's probably the most detailed that I'm going to go into, but let's be sure that we are tying into, again, you personally, and then encouraging and following up with your coaches to connect to ongoing training. All right, development is an ongoing process. It never ends. We should always be training ourselves, always learning new things, always nurturing what we know and what we can do in our business. All right, so this process kind of comes in. A new coach comes in, they hit Coach Basics. All right, you can then tie them in to the Emerald to Diamond training. Again, whether that's the one that corporate puts out there in the Coach Online office, or your organizations, your teams, whichever one you want to tie into, that's great. Okay, New Diamond training. Obviously, we're in that right now. I hope you've loved it. And every new diamond should go through it, or even go through it multiple times. We just want you to stay connected and be able to continue to get development to move you forward, right? But even beyond new diamond training, sometimes we go through that, and kind of the formalized training that we put out there ends at new diamond training. But that shouldn't be the end of where of the training that we receive. All right. So please tap into once we, today's the last session of new diamond training. Please tap into the additional training that's within the Coach Online office training library. Or make sure, go to your team or find another team online, tap into the resources that they have. And again, the thing I love about Beachbody is just the infinite amount of great training material by coaches, for coaches. If you want to learn anything about Beachbody, it's awesome. A coach has probably put it out there. So just Google it, right? Just go into Google, type in your question. You can put almost anything, and you're going to find, some sort of, document, PicMonkey image, or a YouTube video. There's going to be something for you to access. So be sure to tap into additional training, as you move forward in your business. And again, help your new coaches to do the same. All right. Okay. So training, a critical piece to duplication in your business. And the more you can stay tied into training, and the more you can make sure that your new coaches are tied in and stay engaged in training, the more likely that we will see duplication occur in your business and large volumes created. Okay. All right. I want to move on to a very important point of leadership. And again, this also ties into how you can maximize the opportunity for duplication. And this principle is that of delegation, right? It's a leadership principle. Sometimes it's hard for us to learn because we want to control things. We want to make sure that they're done right. And we come in and we sometimes hold the hand of our new coaches and do everything for them because we don't want them to quit. And, we want them to, see how easy it is. And so we kind of just do it for them, right? And it's awesome that we take them on and we mentor them and we do all this, but we also need to make sure that we empower them to learn things on their own, and to give them the opportunity to spread their wings and to grow as a leader. All right. And so I want you to think, as you look at the team that you have, all right, how would delegating some of the things, some of the activities that you do on your team help build the leadership on your team? You may empower someone to do something on your team that they will just, run with it. It'll be the best thing that ever happened to you, right? So think about that. How can delegation really help empower and build leadership within my team? All right. Some tips for delegation that I just want to review with you quickly. As you are able to evolve into this within your business. All right. Be clear with your objectives and expectations. If you're going to delegate an activity, whether it's a challenge group or, hey, you take on the team call today or whatever it is, make sure that you're clear with your objectives and expectations so that the person is able to then take that and run with it and do a great job. Okay. Another tip for delegation. Again, I think this is the one that catches most of us, right? Stop believing that you're the only one who can do it. When I was a new sales manager, I was actually living in Dallas, Texas. I worked, for another company, 10 years ago or so. And I wanted to be the one that always gave the trainings because I liked the way that I did it. And I liked the way that I said it. And when I had one of my sales managers do it, I just, it's not the way that I would have said it, or that's not the way I would have done it. And it took me a while to realize that, you know what? Just because they do something a little bit different or say something a little bit different than the way I said it, guess what? It's okay. They put their own touch on it. People still learn. And when I let go a little bit of thinking that I had to be the one that did it, or I had to make sure, that it was done my way, because in my mind, it was the only right way. When I released those reins, oh my gosh, I had a couple of guys just truly step into that leadership role. And even start to develop and give some of the content so well that I'm like, hey, you guys have blown by me. I want you putting this on because you're so great at it. All right. So really find, an opportunity for the people on your team to use their skills and use their talents and let go of some of that stuff so that they can, spread their wings and watch them step into that leadership role. Okay. Some other things with delegation, I'm just going to blow through these because it's pretty self-explanatory. All right. Focus again on teaching skills that will help them, to do those things that will carry the team forward. Establish a follow-up system. All right. Again, so that's a systematic way to make sure that things get done. If you're worried about everything, getting done, make sure that you have a good follow-up system in place. All right. And then this is a critical one. Not only in the delegation process, but anytime, we're engaging our team in something, is recognizing and expressing gratitude for the things that, that the team does. Sometimes people are looking to take on something because they don't get an opportunity to be recognized or thanked for, contributions. So make sure to do that as you, engage your team in these delegation activities. Okay. All right. Another important element of being able to ensure that you have great duplication on your team is the concept and really the execution of proper time management, right? And I was just talking to Natasha, right? Before we kind of got started, and she's laughing over there. We were talking about, being able to properly allocate my time in an effective way and staying disciplined in those things. We could, go over a whole curriculum, in and of itself. There's been, millions of dollars made on time management. There's a, bazillion podcasts out there and books and seminars and all kinds of things for time management that we won't get into, don't have time to get into in New Diamond training. But what I want to impress upon you, in this, the point I want to make, in this training is the breakdown of how you allocate your time. Okay. And so I just kind of categorize this into two simple categories. Okay. Into one, expanding your network, and two, into team building or administrative things. All right. Sometimes it's easy to get sucked into I'm going to work my business, and working my business turns into, creating a new document, creating a new outline. Hey, I need to run to the store and get paper, and I need to get, ink from my printer, and I need to design something on PicMonkey. And we get really into the administration of things, or, hey, I'm just going to, make the background banner on my team page more pretty, right? And we're engaged in our business, but guess what? You're not helping yourself to grow. All right. Again, this is the hard part. This is the work. Okay. Is the expanding your network side of things, right? That the stuff that really makes a difference. All right. The inviting, the messaging people, posting, following up, driving your challenge groups, working towards selling those challenge packs, hitting Success Club 5 and beyond. All right. As you begin your business, all right, so I kind of just made a breakdown here of what percentage of your time should be spent in expanding your network versus team building. You guys have probably already looked ahead of me, and you see this here, right? As a coach, 100% of your time should be spent on expanding the network and doing, the recruiting activities. You really don't have a team. There's really no reason to put, time into, team building. As a diamond coach, you should be about 80-20 right now, okay? 80-20 should 80% of your time in expanding your network, 20% of your time in team building and administrative training, stuff like that. Okay. As you move into 2-star diamond, you now have a big organization, you have more people, things to do. 5-star diamond, even more. And of course, 10-star diamond and above, now you're at about a 50-50 ratio of, expanding your own network, and then, nourishing and engaging your team, because that helps again with that duplication factor that drives stuff deep. And that's about the ratio that we have. Again, these aren't like scientific. I can't back this up with, hey, let me show you the data of what happens when this skews to 75-25. Can't do that. But this is a general rule of thumb that I'm confident that as you follow this and do your best to keep the management of your time. And I know as diamond coaches, your time dedicated to the business may not be, most of you probably are not full time. And so your windows to work your business are so critical to you. Make sure that you're dedicating your time in the right places, in the right things, that you're looking at your activity list of the controllable activities and doing those first. Okay. All right. Excellent. What I'm recommending to you, I'm trying to model the thing that I'm teaching here, right? So I'm recommending to you, right, that you access the Brittany Leggett. She's a top 10 coach in the network. We had her do a time management tips video a couple months back for our Southeast region. And you can find that video right here on this link. I have posted this inside the New Diamond Facebook group. So, you have that link there, or you can go to my YouTube channel, the Craig Collier Beachbody YouTube channel, and access Brittany Leggett's time management tips for coaches. It is excellent. So if you want to take a deeper dive on time management, there's a wonderful resource for you to do so. And Brittany kind of dives into the weeds and gives some great tips specific for Beachbody coaches that really help you to be effective with time management. Okay. All right. Let's spend just a little bit of time here at the end then talking about how creating a team culture is so important in your business. All right. Again, I want you to marinate on these questions when we talk about it. Why is team culture so important? What does it do for you and for your team, and really creating something that is definitive and defines what your team can be and how it can look like and how people feel within your team, right? One of the things I love about Beachbody is the team feel that people have. It's that community. It's that people engaged in, a common goal, and investing in one another and helping one another and in doing things together. It really is the element that has made Beachbody so successful. I've said it many times. We have excellent programs, great trainers, great fitness programs, an amazing supplement in Shakeology and our other great supplements. They're top of the class in the industry. But what makes Beachbody so successful are the coaches, okay, and the way you guys tie into a community to help each other succeed. So as you're creating your team, one of the things that the top coaches in the network have done so well is to create a team culture that just engages people and immerses them in Beachbody and in helping one another and being tied to something that they want to be a part of. There's a lot of times where it's like, man, I just love being part of my team because of the way it makes me feel, the way it motivates me. It's so important in this business, right? Having a great team culture helps you in so many ways, and I've listed some of them here. From setting the right expectations to really attracting is it the right people. Of course, you want to help everyone, but you attract the kind of people that of what you put out there and the culture that you create, and it brings the right people into your team when you have a culture that's reflective of the way that you want to live your life, right? Having a great team culture makes just coaching, quite frankly, more enjoyable. I love this image here of Team Couture with Jen Richardson out of Florida. She did this little thing: good friends, good times, good wine, right? It looks like they're all having, a little drink together and just, having a good time. It's creating that thing where they feel proud to be part of the team that they're on, right? It increases loyalty and engagement. And again, that all comes back to creating duplication and retention in your business that creates long-term, success for you. All right. Some of the things that you need to do, some of the steps, like, how do I create, my team culture? Really that's up to you, right? It's your team. You get to put your personality into it, your influence in it. You get to work with your coaches to be like, hey, what do we want our identity to be? Maybe you guys want to come up with a team name, maybe a team mission statement. You can do whatever you want to do, but have a team identity. People feel tied into that, all right? Have team activities. They don't have to be crazy. They don't have to be expensive. Keep them simple. You can do them online, like we kind of saw in that image there. You can do videos together. When possible, I highly encourage, and again, I know this isn't always possible in a virtual business because you guys might have coaches all over the US, but when possible, please get together every now and then in person and just be together and talk and share stories and frustrations. And there's just something about being together with other coaches that's magical. All right. So when you can do that, I highly encourage you to spend some time in person, with your team or with other Beachbody coaches whenever you can. Okay. Creating great team culture makes being a Beachbody coach more than just work. Again, it makes it enjoyable, right? Some of the things that help foster that great team culture are also setting goals together, having contests within the teams, doing games within the team, anything that just engages them in making the business fun, right? Again, providing your team with resources, having informal teams within your team, just little things that you can do to make it so that your team feels engaged, they feel part of something bigger than themselves and something that they want to be tied into, okay? Make it great, all right? I haven't posted this on the team page yet, but I will. I guess if you're watching this as a recording, it should be there. I'll put that up. Jen Richardson did an excellent video about creating team culture and the way that she's done that. Again, Jen has just an extraordinary team culture. It's really been a great thing to help her become a 15-star diamond. Right, she's going to hit 15-star diamond actually at the end of this year, and she is just excellent at creating team culture. And actually asked her to do a training for another coach for his team. So you'll see it's kind of geared towards them, but the principles nonetheless are excellent. It's about a 17 or so minute long video. I highly encourage you to watch that and get some tips on how you can create culture in your team to be successful. Okay. All right. Last point here. Team meetings, team calls, okay? I know you all engage in these. Sometimes they're ones that, hey, you call into your team call. Some of you might have a team call for you and your team. You be the judge of when it's best, all right, to host your own team call and when it's maybe best to continue to have your coaches tie into maybe your coaches or your uplines team call. You make the call on that. But the key thing is to make sure that you and your coaches are being consistent, that you are engaged in those. If your team doesn't have a call, get one going or find a team that you can tie into because they absolutely will help you become a better coach. All right. On your team calls, again, the key is to be consistent with them. If we're constantly changing the time or the day or we're canceling, it's hard for your coaches to get engaged in those. So be as consistent as you can. Team calls can be used for, again, sharing communication, news, updates, just keeping people really up to speed with what's going on. It's amazing how quickly we can get out of the loop with our day-to-day lives. And so having that team call, a lot of times you have to be the voice to make sure that people stay tied into what's going on, in the business and things that might create opportunity for your coaches. All right. They're also an opportunity to share accountability, to share your frustrations, share your goals, share, how you maybe overcame a challenge. It's a great tool for sharing accountability. Okay. Team calls or meetings can also be done where you might do a training topic. You might invite someone on to train on a topic, or you personally train on a topic, or training might be an opportunity to delegate to your team, right? Empower them to share on a topic that will actually make them better in the topic that you give them, as well as give them an opportunity to shine, an opportunity to recognize them, and really just create some cool progress for someone on your team, right? One of the most effective things that we have learned about doing team calls and getting people together in a group are these mastermind types of calls where we put a theme out there. Hey, today we're going to talk about expanding our cold market. All right. And then sharing best practices about how to do that and talking back and forth and talking through things or sharing tips that you've heard, and it just makes everyone better. And that's always a really fun way and an also, effective way to learn. And so I highly recommend those mastermind calls as well within your team. Okay. All right, you guys, that is a wrap on team culture. I hope that was a mouthful there. I've gone through it very quickly. Hopefully some things sunk in. If not, that we've got this recorded. I can post the slides in the, on the page and whatnot, but I want to give you now your call to action, for the week. And this is what you'll move forward with here. All right. So my invitation to you, as we wrap up here, in terms of duplication, is going to the new Coach Basics in the Coach Online office and checking that out, making sure that you're familiar with the content, seeing if you can learn something for it, and making sure that that your new coaches can access that. All right. So please go in and review that. All right. Invitation number 2. All right. I want you to track your time management. As diamond coaches, right? You have the 80-20 rule, 80% of your time expanding network, 20% of your time in team building and administration, all right? So throughout today and throughout these next weeks, I want you to really keep a detailed log, either written, on your phone or whatever, of how you are allocating your time and doing your best to stay within that 80-20 rule, all right? And then finally, I want you to take some time to reflect, evaluate, and then define your ideal team culture. What does that look like, and how can you implement it? Okay, those are your invitations, your homework for the last session of Diamond Training. So you guys, thank you so much for being live with me today. I appreciate the engagement. To all of you who are watching the video, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned some great things. Let's continue to use our new Diamond Facebook page, our group page, right, to put in questions, to share tips, to make comments, to ask for resources. Please use this group, all right? We talked about team culture. Now that, hey, that we have participated in this training together and we're part of our, new Diamond group, on Facebook, we're a team. We can create some culture within that team. Let's leverage this opportunity to make each other better. Please engage in that page. And if there's anything that I can do or my team can do for you to help you finish the year strong or to start 2016 off on the right foot and really go out and achieve your goals, please let me know so we can help you to do that. We appreciate you. We are so grateful for everything that you do for Beachbody and to help other people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. Be proud to be a Beachbody coach and go out there and do it. Thank you, you guys, so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.